One of the things I really enjoy about the NIV is that it has this commitment to ongoing work. I talk to a lot of people about the NIV, and the number one question actually is, why are you guys still working on it? And so they don't know that it's always been this ongoing thing. We're going to constantly be tweaking it, making it better, keeping it updated with scholarship and how English language is going. And I hope that people understand that's always been the way it is, that we want to make it better and better. I'm not aware of many other translations, if any, having made this kind of commitment to really keep things going.
A decisive moment was after the 1984 edition came out, and we had to make a decision whether to let the translation, as I put it, fossilize and not keep up with scholarship and not keep up with the language, or to keep it more living and dynamic.
I think it's important that even though we respect the traditional language, when we become aware that the traditional language is either not accurate or language has moved on. And so what that traditional language, how we hear it and what it means to us, is not really the way a 20-year-old would hear it. Then the work of the translator is accuracy and clarity to the language, the contemporary language.
As the church gets older, its memory becomes better because we now know it better than our fathers did. Because we now are, that's why I went on to ancient areas of languages. We get insights out of the cognate languages. We get insights out of archaeology. And to my mind, it's irresponsible stewardship not to keep current with that scholarship and to keep it available to the church.
One of the things we changed, which is Psalm 23, which is, a lot of people have favorite Psalms. Psalm 23 about walking through the valley of death. That was the way that verse was understood, but in the original language, it's not death, it's darkness. It's that death was an interpretation of the original Hebrew that was in the King James, which kind of influenced all other English translations. And that's one that I think is more accurate and is actually, in some ways, more clear because the valley of darkness can come into our lives. We may feel we're in the valley of darkness in lots of different ways, other than kind of with impending death. So I think that's one place where the NIV made an improvement in both accuracy and clarity, but yet it breaks that traditional reading that many people have memorized from the King James and earlier English translations.
I don't want to become fixed. I want to interact. I want to hear the criticism, and if it's legitimate, let's hear it. So I hope that continues, that it will be looked at as a valuable tool to learn. And I think there's two things. You have to listen to the community, but you also have to lead the community. And I think that's what you're doing. That in your work, and Zondovan's work, it's leading the community. And sometimes the community balks. But sometimes you have to lead and overcome those difficulties. And I think it's doing it well.